You're listening to Kizuki, the podcast. I'm Mae Yoshikawa, and I define the Japanese concept of Kizuki as the following. Kizuki. 1. A moment of epiphany, an aha of realization or insight which opens the knower to a new dimension of truth that was formerly unknown. 2. Steps in an incremental growth of awareness, resulting in a movement from ignorance to greater awareness of the bigger picture. A kind of knowing that cannot be undone, that cannot be unrealized. As a longtime yoga and meditation practitioner, a world traveler, and curious self-explorer, I'm obsessed with Kizukis. Listen on each week for inspiring and enlightening stories that may just tip you over for your next aha. On this week's episode, Truly Smart. Have you ever heard the phrase, do you want to be right or happy? I remember when I first heard that question, some years into my practice of yoga and meditation, it hit me like a shocker. Wait, for all this time, I have been trying so hard to be right. I was so invested in being right, looking for the right answer, being on the right side of the track. And sometimes it got in the way of my being happy. So not that it has to be an either or answer, but the question was so intricately aimed that it made me inquire with myself whether my need to be right or my need to justify myself, to justify my standpoint as correct, was getting in the way of my simple happiness. And that's exactly it. You know, happiness isn't complex. And I think a healthy dose of just pure simplicity, innocence, like a child, can really help us all along in our path to happiness. Recently, I was in conversation with my students in my community, and we were discussing a similar question phrased like this. Do you want to be smart or happy? And similarly, the spotlight on smartness or being clever or intelligent helps us to shed light on how our modern day society is so hyper-focused on being intelligent or smart. And more often than not, I feel that it's become a part of the rat race, a part of who's better, who's worth more, who can achieve more, who can earn more. And somehow being smart and being intelligent is a measuring factor for that hierarchical ladder. And again, posing it next to the question, do you want to be smart or happy, next to the word happy, then makes us focus on, wait, is our race to be smart keeping us from being simply happy? And the answer is sometimes, a lot of times, yes. So, I have two follow-up points about this. One is, what does it mean to be smart and intelligent anyway? I have to ask, on whose terms, by what measure, what SAT scores and what IQ scores are you measuring smartness and intelligence? Because, for example, I could be really smart about certain yogic practices and whatever things that I've studied before, And then if my car breaks down, you put me under the hood of my car and I'm a complete idiot. I have no idea how these things work. And I need to go to the car mechanic who would be an expert, who would be smart with the car, right? So you could be really smart in one way and a complete idiot in another. And it also means that one morning you can appear to be really smart to one person, and then another day you can appear to be a complete idiot to another person. So smartness, intelligence, how to measure it? And I feel like schools and society has tried hard to standardize that with standardized tests and schooling systems and measures that claim to be equal for all who take it. But when you think about all of the infinite possibilities of life, who's to measure? And how can we dare measure a complete array of smartness? My second point is, suppose you were someone who can ace all of the standardized tests and have crazy amazing scores on the IQ test, and for all schooling and social measures, you were considered extremely intelligent. But you weren't life smart or social smart or happy smart. What if you had all of that intelligence and didn't know how to use it to be simply happy? Because I think we all can agree that too much thinking, too much overthinking, overanalyzing can so easily kill the joys of life. So for me, in my path, I've come to think that, well, smartness and intelligence most certainly has its place, but it's not a reason to feel superior to others in any way. It's not a reason to pretend that your smartness or your life might be worth more just because you can have these scores of smartness. And it doesn't even mean anything if you don't know how to utilize them to experience happiness and joy in life. Just in the same way that I can be super smart and get under the hood of my car and not have a clue what's going on. If you're super intelligent, but you don't have a clue how to use that intelligence, that knowledge, to be happy, to experience happiness, then what's the point? That's my question. And the flip side can also be true. Is it required to be smart and intelligent to experience happiness? And I think we can all agree that the short answer to that is no. Anybody gets to be happy. Anybody can experience joy and simplicity in life. And so sometimes we kind of have to be careful if our smartness and intelligence might be making things way more complex than it needs to be. What do you think? What do you think it means to be truly smart? Thank you for listening. Learn more about me in my upcoming book, Kizuki, Realizations Beyond Time and Death, at my website, maey.live, or find me on Instagram at maeyoshiKawa.